Hi guys, and welcome back to the Cassie Project. So this week's video is going to be a little bit different. I will be designing a birthday card for my shop, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about drawing with Aphantasia. So what is Aphantasia? Aphantasia. So aphantasia is the inability to form mental images of objects when they're not present. Whereas a lot of people, which I didn't realise before, can picture things in their mind. Some people can picture things very, very clearly in their mind, which I find very bizarre. Whereas I just see black. I don't understand how you can physically see something in your mind. You may have seen this come across social media. So there's the 5 different faces. There is one that has got this photographic, beautiful apple with colours and the leaves. The second may be a more flat image of an apple, but it's still got colour there. The third may be just a black and white image. Maybe that's all you can see in your mind. The fourth one is where they see just a faint outline of an apple. Whereas with me, I see nothing at all. And I close my eyes and there's nothing there. If you tell me to picture an apple, I can't see an apple. I know what an apple is, but I can't see one. So you may think, how do people draw with aphantasia? If you're a creative person, surely you have to have this vivid imagination. I've always been a creative person, and I only found out about a year ago that I have aphantasia. This is all I've ever known. I thought that everyone was like this. I just have tools and ways of being able to create things. So what I see, it kind of starts with more of a story. I suppose instead of being very visual, I can create stories in my head using words, I suppose. So let's use my forget-me-not painting as an example. I created this story of a girl who is sat on her comfiest chair. She gets so lost in a book that what she is seeing in this book almost becomes visible. She becomes one with the flowers, and she becomes a forget-me-not. She's a bit unique, she's a bit quirky. She can feel the wind brushing across her face. And this is the story that I'm creating, but I'm not picturing something in my mind. I just know what that story looks like with words. So basically, when I have these stories, I build on it using references. The reason that I use references is because I actually struggle to draw on demand. So if someone just said to me, hey, draw a horse, I'd try, and it would probably look something like this. I just kind of forget where things go. I can't physically picture what a horse's tail looks like, and I'd need a reference to be able to remember what it looks like. As you know, I'm not a hyper-realistic drawer. I don't want to just copy things. I love creating these worlds, these characters, these unique things, and I do that by combining references together. Think of it as collage. I'm using references and I collage them together. For an example, I want to draw a cupcake, but to make it a little bit more interesting, I want a panda to be sat in the icing of a cupcake. For example, let's turn it into a birthday card. So he's holding a balloon and he's got a party hat on. I know what I want to do. It's a story, but I need references to bring that together. Right, so now we know all about aphantasia and how I work and how I use references. I'm going to put that into practice. I'm going to show you how I design a birthday card. Of course, my birthday card is available for you to purchase in my online shop. You can go to thecassyprojects.co.uk, and of course we've got other things, stickers, prints, and so much more. I wanted a squirrel to be baking a cake for someone's birthday. That was my idea for this birthday card. So of course I've got to bring in lots of different references. So we're going to start with a squirrel, and I'm going to use that for the majority of the drawing. This helps me work out colours, the shape of the face, the body, and so on. Then I needed to position the arms so that she could be icing a cake. So I find a picture of a person icing a cake, and I bring that in and I kind of mould the squirrel and the lady's arms together to to create the right positioning for my squirrel. But of course I want to put clothes on my squirrel because I'm creating a series of animals with clothing. So I've got a few pictures, I've got a blouse, so I'm going to use the sleeve to the blouse. The aprons, of course, I've looked up lots of different aprons that I can put on my squirrel. And then of course we're icing the cake, so we're bringing in a picture of a cake. We need a table for that cake to be sat on, and I just piece these different things together so that I can bring this image to life, because without these references it wouldn't look very good. Because I can't remember what a squirrel looks like. I can't remember what a cake looks like. I need a picture, and I need it there in front of me to remember what it looks like. And once it's there, I'm like, oh, of course, it's this shape. Oh, of course, I need to do this. And then I can put my own spin on it. I can create my own character. I can create my own composition. So now we've got that bundle of references. I know what I'm doing. I can go into the actual birthday card. So I'm going to get down that drawing and then add the ink to it. As you can see, I'm moving from my iPad to the reel to iPad to reel, and this is just one of my processes. I prefer to do drawing using pens and paint, but I find using digital drawing really helpful to edit the final product. Now I'm going in with my watercolours. I'm using the wet on wet technique. I find it so much easier to use for animals. It just creates this really lovely texture. It leaves little white gaps, and I just think it just has this more natural look to it. I had so much fun doing the bushy tail. It was really nice to use lots of different browns and just tap them in until we had this lovely furry texture. Now I wanted to remind you that even if you have aphantasia, it doesn't have to stop you from being creative. I know I always put myself down before, because I always saw people just like being able to just pluck these ideas out their head, and I'm just like, how do you do that? How do you remember what that looks like? And I realise now it's because I haven't got a physical image in my mind. But if you have aphantasia too and you can't picture actual images in your mind, it doesn't have to stop you from being creative. There's lots of ways around it. And I really hope that this video has showed you some tools that you can use to be able to get better at art and to enable you to be more creative and create your own characters and stories. So now we've got this beautiful painting. I'm going to move this back onto my iPad. So I'm going to edit those little bits, enhance the colours, and I didn't have to do a lot of editing with this one because I worked really hard on the planning stage. We're going to print that out on some lovely thick 300 GSM card, and it's got a bit of a satin finish on it. It's really beautiful, and I'm going to cut and fold those. There is my beautiful card. I'm so proud of it. I worked really hard on this one, and I think it is my favourite out of the three, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember, don't let aphantasia stop you from being creative. There's definitely ways around it. Thank you so much for watching. Do carry on watching some more videos over here, and I will see you soon. Bye.